More.
Nice. Christian, get ready. W kill. Nice.
Oh, nice! I got it!
No.
Watch out for the Lucio.
All right, guys. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jayne.
Hi, Jayne.
So,
Hey.
what we're doing, congratulations. You guys are being the guinea pigs to play against this scrim team.
Let's go. Make it rolled.
So AK Death or Chase Knave. So you are standing in as a individual. So they are going to be playing against a Grandmaster player who is normally tank, but flexes 2 DPS for this tournament. So you don't have to hold back. You're much higher SR than anybody else in this lobby. But but that's intentional. So like Aero is going to be coaching this team on how to deal with somebody like you. So you're probably gonna be.
Do they know what heroes the guy plays, or because,
yeah? So they specifically they play a very flexible. They were talking about Genjis, Tracer, Pharah, Sombra, and then what they specifically requested to start with is they asked that you would play Zarya and Hanzo to play around the Grav Dragon combos. So you don't have to play anything specific, but to start with, they did request that you start with Zarya Hanzo. Whether that's you playing Hanzo,
should I be the Hanzo, or should
it's unnecessary for.
So you want a Zarya, yeah?
Yeah, a Zarya Hanzo for this first round, and then occasionally I'll hop back in and ask that you play specific comps based off of the needs of coaching the other team.
Yeah, just let us know. No problem.
Will do. All right, and thanks everyone.
Echo's there. Here comes.
Echo's literally. Okay. Are you on the opposite side?
No.
No, same side.
There is an opposite side.
Watch out for Ferribus if they have it, or Lucy.
Left side Tracer.
Tracer,
Tracer.
left. Yeah.
Okay, they're going white room, huh?
Just on that Ryan.
Tracer right, Tracer right.
Tracer behind.
Ryan one.
Yep.
Nice. Let's go in with that.
There's still a Tracer
behind.
Okay.
I got the Tracer.
Oh, there's a Lucio. Lucio's on point.
Okay.
Get the Zarya.
They use Emor. They use break Emor.
I use Emor because you're about to die, Victor.
No, they use Emor.
I know.
Get that.
That's one.
Hanzo now.
Hanzo's dead.
Nice. Get the Lucio.
Lucio next.
Ryan on your.
Where's Ryan? Tracer's back too.
I can't. Ew.
Okay, we can have everybody
Watch out for
focus
Tracer.
on-
Watch out for Tracer.
We can have everybody focus on the Lucio. Careful.
Fire strike. I have window already.
Okay.
40 to trans.
40 chance. I have Shatter and 8. They're going bridge.
Watch your dragon.
Get the Ryan. Go on right. Go on right.
I backed to it. That's my fault.
Just go on that Ryan.
Ryan.
Back up.
My shield's broken.
We're down a
We're
lot.
down two.
Okay.
They use dragons. They use shatter.
Reset.
They use dragons, but they didn't do grab dragons.
They're probably close to grab.
Tracer's up. Going back.
Okay, they use. Listen. They
three
use
of them.
dragons. They use
Shatter.
Yeah, Shatter.
Did
So
they
they're gonna have Lucio, maybe pulse bomb.
I
Okay, then watch
I
out
have
for
trans
Tracer.
now.
I shot.
Okay. Tracer main. Brick shield.
Yep.
Just go on the Ryan.
Big, go in. Get Zarya, look at Zarya. They VV. Break Emor.
Emo's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alan.
Tracer behind.
Okay, focus. Sorry, almost dead.
There's a Tracer
He's
bugging.
behind.
Zarya's one.
Okay.
We lost both.
Tracer no recall.
Grab. Big boy.
Nice.
Oh, that's only one. It's only one.
Lucio's dead.
Three.
Spiking up here.
You're just gonna trickle. We need to regroup.
Yeah, just group up.
Tracer's dead behind you.
Okay. Just back up.
No, come
He's
back.
back up.
Yeah, group up.
We lost both DPS and support, and then you just kept going.
Okay, they have. I'll check. What do you think they have? They use
They're gonna
pulse.
have pulse bomb.
The-
Oh, they use pulse. Okay. They're gonna have grab
white
and
room.
window.
Let's go white
Grab
room.
window, probably close to dragons.
Yeah, let's go white room. Cross.
Well, let us cross. Oh, there goes Luis.
Oh god.
All good.
I'm lucky. That's fine.
Tracer behind.
Please can come back to us. Watch out for Tracer behind.
You're not letting me cross.
Come on. Yeah.
You're going all the way around.
Ryan's there.
Behind me.
No.
Go. Look at Zarya.
I'm getting fun cap.
Tracer?
Yeah, Tracer.
Ooh, she's on me. Okay, she's dead. Come on.
We should be fine. We should be fine. We should be fine. We should be fine.
Back up, back up, just back up.
Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
Did we make it?
We're down one, we're
Back
down
up,
one, we're down one, we're
watch
down
out.
one. Come on.
The shield's about to break. I need it.
That's down.
We need to
Back
start
up, back
going. We need someone needs to touch. We need to start going.
I can check.
Okay. I can come with you too.
I'm still going wavy.
Okay, we need to use Qs now.
Fisher Vine.
Tracer's
Oh!
not full.
Fisher
There's
this.
no recall.
Oh, okay, that worked.
No, don't worry about it.
Go in. It's winnable. Go in.
Yeah, Ryan.
Wow, use your round.
Ryan.
Friends one.
They're all low, they're all low.
Bap, 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 bap,
Right
bap,
here.
bap.
Oh, random was dead. Random was dead.
Discord.
Oh no. You guys, did
Alright,
we
we got
survive the grab dragons?
I think you
Yeah.
guys did. I wasn't
We
there.
did.
We did.
Oh my god.
All right, so real fast, before we jump into the next one, I'll talk about a couple things.
Okay.
So when thinking about this comp style, I'm just gonna pause it. Thinking about this comp style, since they're gonna have a Lucio and you guys have a Zen, you guys have way more poke damage and way more burst. So I want you to be thinking about this is gonna be mostly on Crusader.
Okay.
Think about where's the next fight gonna happen, and I want you to be thinking about how you can best utilize your sustained DPS rather than the rush burst. Okay, so it's gonna be on them to find a way into you to be able to make their play happen. So when you're setting up where you want to play, you need to be able to soak the initial push, and then that's when our DPS take side angle. So when we're playing like an Echo, is it how to pronounce it? Is it Michi?
Yeah, yeah.
Michi? Okay, yeah. So it's going to be on you to find like a completely different angle from them rushing in. Think about it like they're pushing in and you're wrapping around the sides. And so as soon as they're ready to push in, you're taking that angle. And then wherever we get our Discord, ideally on the run when he swings after the bubble, or if you can get a support, we have a lot of execute plays that we can do because we have a Discord. So when you're in position, Michi, like on Echo, to do one of those side angles, whether you're in the air or like just on one of the sides, if you have an opportunity where you see that you can do your sticky bombs, you can do left click sticky bombs into beam, and you can call for a Discord on like a backline target that only you can hit, call for it. Okay. So if you see that opportunity, say, Discord BAP or Discord whoever, and go for it. All right. But just remember, as this comp, we're not necessarily the ones rushing in unless we have a play that we're trying to make.
Okay.
And yeah, so on there's I don't want to talk too much after that first one, but just a little thing here with comms. If something happens or like you lose a fight or whatever, just focus on talking about things that are going to be important to the current fight that's going on. Don't apologize for something that messed up if you went the wrong way or whatever. Just focus on providing stuff that's valuable to the fight now, and any of the other stuff we can always talk about and hammer it out later. All right. All right, team. You guys actually have a good baseline here, so I'm pretty excited to see how we can do.
This is really good for 2.5K. Yeah, for sure.
So where are you guys going to roll out? Where's your first position here?
We'll try to take stairs.
Okay. So with this, I would actually recommend that we go to point because we want space. We want them to have to cross distance into us and us take side angles because we're on the Zen.
Okay.
So I want to try going point side and then taking as much space as possible and make them run into your Rhine. And then that way our junk and our McCree can get, and our Zen can set up angles for it, okay?
Okay. Alright, let's go.
Round 2. Capture the objective.
For some reason I thought we had a Lucian. I was like, oh, we zooming.
Like Aero.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
They have done 2.
They're going stairs. Ball on right.
There's a Hunter right there.
Just got on the Zarya.
That's over the fire strike.
Ryan on right.
I'm so sorry.
Ryan half. Zarya on left by yourself.
Got him. You're getting double teamed right now. I
I
got you.
had to use Seymour.
You more dev.
Nice.
Nice. Sorry, on left.
Junk on right by himself.
Got
You guys are low, please.
Sorry, dead.
There's a tap. Right side.
Touch
Don't
that
go
shot.
ahead.
Okay, nice.
Dead.
Hanzo almost dead as
Lucio,
well.
Lucio on right, Lucio on
Last
right,
time
Lucio on
jump,
right.
last time
Get him,
jump.
get him, get him.
Nice.
The red.
Discord on Ryan. Discord on Ryan.
Crazy.
They're pushing back. Oh, they're mid.
Take the space. Take the space.
Got you.
Are we leaving? Taking space?
No, we're taking this. It's fine.
Take this one over here where I'm at.
Discord on Ryan. Discord on Ryan. Discord on Ryan.
Yeah, got you.
I have window for whenever.
On left, on left. Someone's on stairs. It's a jump.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Junker.
Back up.
I got you.
Wait.
Backing.
Nice.
Nice.
Jump on left, jump on left.
Oh, what happened?
You see?
Oh.
I think.
I don't know what happened.
All right. Well, it gives us a chance to talk anyway. Yeah. Good fight here. So remember, as soon as this last fight ends, be talking about what's the plan for next. Okay. When you're pushing and looking for stagger kills, that's something that you do on your own, like automatically. Don't have to worry too much about like planning that out. Be talking about where's the next fight. Remember, we're trying to take fights where they have to come into us. So whenever if we're going to start at a choke, be ready to plan where the fight's going to happen. Don't all in at that choke unless we're going to be all in with the trance, which we don't really want to do because we're trying to save our cooldowns for the Grav Dragon type stuff. And while we're waiting for him, I was going to talk about it next map, but we'll talk about it now. If when you're playing against a star player, like someone is like some kind of hard carry, it's kind of a similar concept to a lot of teams do when playing against Carpe, is always keeping tabs on them. So you see who they're playing, and every time you see them in your screen, you call where they are. Left, right, say, junk left, junk right, whatever. Always keep tabs on them, and we want to mark them as much as possible. So, Sun, whenever you see him, it's going to be mostly, well, it's going to be on everyone realistically, but duels will often happen on the side with you. The concept of marking is just preventing them from getting value, right? So when they're set up to try to do some flank or some crazy play, just hitting him once will make them back off or make them have to at least reconsider it, right? So if we're always scouting, we're never letting them get like a flank angle where they can do some kind of crazy stuff. It minimizes that chance. So when we go into this next fight, the two things that I want you guys to be focused on here is where's the fight happening, and be thinking about it, specifically Crusader with kiting back and using our space to advantage our poke, and then always keeping track of where their Junkrat is. Okay, I want to hear people call out extra comms like Junkrat left, Junkrat right, whatever. Okay.
Right.
All right. Keep it up, team.
Also, I use more, so... Oh, as soon as I use more!
It's fine, it's fine.
Tower main.
Oh, God.
Everyone's dead, just die.
Die on point. It's fine.
Die on point. Don't use those. Die on point.
Well, it's only tire or?
I was not ready for
Fire
that.
No,
Dragon.
it was Tire,
Fire
Dragons. So they're gonna have probably beat,
Junk's
grab,
main.
and maybe window. Just around that Ryan.
Oh,
Zarya one,
sorry.
nice.
Junk on right.
I'm one.
Hide behind. At you, behind it.
Okay. This way going.
I have window.
Jump on left, on stairs.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Junk's main.
Push past it.
Going left.
Just around that Ryan.
Results.
Be careful, you're on half.
Force them more.
Support.
Junk on right.
Oh, I
Junk on
died.
right.
Jump
Junk on right.
point.
Junk on right.
Junk behind point. Junk dead.
Get that Ryan next.
Ryan discorded. Go on, Ryan. Ryan
There's
dead.
a Lucio on yours.
Zarya.
Go Zarya. Look at Zarya. Zarya on your
Counter that.
McCree. Zarya one. Hanzo left upstairs.
Someone's on point.
Nice.
Lucio's on point.
Yeah.
Lucio's one.
Kick him!
Stabilize. Jump.
Jump top.
Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, bad finger.
That's fine, I have you board.
I didn't mean to
Jump
press it.
dead. Ryan's gonna come in.
That's good.
Ryan's by
Sorry.
himself.
I'm going top for the mega.
Window?
Shatter in 10.
Not yet.
I don't know. I was gonna window grab, but I died. The junk just.
They're gonna have shatter.
Yeah.
gonna
Jump might
have
take top
Brad.
here.
I'll take
Okay,
that.
just
Lucio's half.
push it.
Oh.
Green.
All right,
Okay.
I'm taking an opportunity here. Okay, so something really unfortunate just happened, and you
Hi, Jayne.
Hey, Jayne.
Another
Oh,
DC
hello.
or something else? Or I think did Aero manually pause? Never mind.
About how we're going to counter this. When they're running a comp like this, where Grav Dragon is so very obviously like their big thing, how are we now going to live through this? What's the plan?
Emor window.
Is that enough?
I hope so.
Emor should be able because
Emor
out.
should at least hold
No, you
them.
play more spirit out.
Yeah,
There you go.
spread out, force the
spread out.
value of the grav into one person instead
But like
of
if it
six.
does happen.
Very good. All right, so make sure you stay spread. We have poke anyway, so spreading isn't awful. And let's just try to make them have to grab one person, and then their Grav Dragon loses so much value, okay? If they do somehow manage to get a big Grav, then we need to time our Immortality Field really well. All right?
What is the timing for that arrow? What would you recommend?
It's because the distance of when your dragon's going to hit, there's so many factors. The biggest thing is if the dragon's the most damage, like they aren't pushing into you as well, then you just have to try to time it to where the dragon has already started ticking, so that way they can't, or like the Immortality Field is up as lit for as short a time as possible.
So like half HP.
For them to be able to kill it. Yeah. If you can time it half HP, but just remember that like if they're close and they're able to swing on you, or their junk's in position to get like a big AoE nade, then you're not going to be able to do that. So you have to keep in mind where their Rhine is in particular in relation to that. Just something you have to kind of sidetrack and eye out. That's something that you get with feel, just time playing it. But half HP is ideal. Just try not to blow it like right as soon as the graph comes out.
How long does it last? Like Emor?
The dragon?
No, Emor. Well, I mean that too. But like Emor.
It lasts long enough to cover it. It's just the matter of them killing it is the concern.
Yeah, because the dragons can't kill it. It's just the people if they shoot it.
Yeah.
Try to put it around the corner where they have to overextend to destroy it.
All right, let's
so
do it,
it's
team.
not in PC?
No, I just paused it.
Oh.
I'll try to build it fast.
Brian's behind on the right, and then Lucio's half.
Okay, Brian's name.
Someone
Lucio's
like
trying to bug us.
Hey, sorry to your left, sorry to your left.
On that Ryan?
Where'd you guys go?
They're run.
Go
Ryan.
Behind you.
Nice.
He's dead.
Great job.
Stabilize.
What's next?
They use.
They use
Dragon.
fire.
They use dragons too.
Lucio,
Fire
come up.
dragon grab.
They use fire.
They
They're gonna have
use
beam.
shatter?
They're gonna push in with
They have
beam.
shattered.
Yeah, they're all coming at the same time. Right now.
Are they gonna rush us on main?
I'm gonna tire behind them.
Just film the Zarya. She's half. Focus on that Ryan.
6 into Boba
Right on
Victor.
main.
Hondo. Stairs. Zarya's behind. Zarya's behind you guys. Zarya's behind you guys.
Already dead.
Brian dead.
I died.
Jump behind. Jump behind. He's one. Nice.
Got him.
Down main heals.
You're even-
Oh, you're fine.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're down nothing. Never mind. Just kidding. You guys. Y'all didn't die. Go dragon.
No,
I don't even know what happened.
No.
The dragon.
You canceled it?
Yeah, I shattered him.
I swear I saw
Yeah,
it.
you shattered.
No, the dragons came out.
They came
Dragons
out?
came out.
I
Yeah.
was like, they
Oh.
totally came out.
Came
Cause like,
out, but
Oh.
somehow we just got booped off of it.
No, because like, look. Okay, here was where you guys got grabbed. The dragons got pushed this way, but I don't know what the fuck happened, and I just moved.
They grabbed your tanks and dragoned your backline.
The dragons are really effective because Anna and I just kind of moved to the left.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I think you might have been too close to the
because I saw
grab.
dragons, and I was like, oh
All right.
my gosh.
Focus on this.
Nice. Go.
But where are we going?
We go close. Since they have, as we know now, they don't have anything to boot.
They have
Yeah,
Lucio.
they had Lucio.
Okay.
Oh, they have Farah.
Okay. Take the fight, man.
We have to play as
She's
they
going.
do best games.
Someone's one. Lucius one.
3 years.
Shield, I need to recharge shield. Farah on left.
Oh, please take hard cover.
Just on the right.
There's one.
You guys are both one as well. Please take hard cover. Zarya. Oh my god.
They're down
Try
one.
to stabilize
Just on the
you.
Ryan. Just on the Ryan.
Let's go. Right
I
on.
have
window, I have window, I have window, I have window.
Get one. Get more.
They're
Look
done
at Dario.
healing.
Look at Dario.
Dario. Behind.
Sorry, outside
Behind.
point, sorry, outside point.
Dario behind.
Carol behind on ground.
I'm
Carol's on the
dead.
right. Carol's on the right. Up
Dario on
top.
top of me.
Zarya dead.
Point.
Just
Sorry.
shoot.
Look at the fair. Look at the fair. Look at the fair. On the
You have
right.
no heals?
You're down 3. No heals.
The fair is still not dead. She's still not dead.
I'm almost dead.
Look at the fair.
Okay, no,
God.
Do shadow. Do shadow. Do
You
shadow.
guys looked at the fair way too late.
Back up.
Please take hard cover. You guys keep going on critical. I'm trying. I'll keep.
Alright.
Okay, we're gonna have
No fire strike.
3 or 4. 3 or 4.
You
Ults
probably have
coming in.
barrage now because you gotta do.
They're watching your left.
They definitely have
One's
to.
a
Someone's on left. You see on left.
Yeah, it's a good piece.
There's barrage. Ryan on port. Ryan on
Get the
port.
Ryan. Get the Ryan. Get the Ryan. Get the Ryan. Get the Ryan.
Breaking more.
Get the more. Get the more. They
That
just
was
used
happening.
You're down.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go in with Lee.
Get back up. Don't try to force it.
Nah. Just sleep. Die. Or back out.
Dragon's coming in.
I don't. Oh.
Dragon's coming in. Watch out.
Should be fine. Should be fine.
Oh yeah, we're fine.
Right on right.
Dead.
Right on right.
Lucio's a corner.
Lucio was
Sorry,
dead.
where are you going? Sorry, where are you going?
Sorry, I got you.
Paris is footed. Paris is footed.
Let's go.
I need to use your I need to use it.
Watch for Lucio boobs.
Yep, there it is.
Get that Ryan. Get that Ryan.
Big shatter, go in. Look at Ryan. Look at Ryan.
I can't.
Very
More.
Nice.
Good. We're good.
Christian, get ready. W kill. Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
nice! I died! I died!
No!
Get the
Where's
watch out for the
Lucio?
Lucio. Watch out for the Lucio.
Watch out. They're gonna come in. They probably
Oh,
don't
he's
have shatter.
one.
They have shatter. They don't have grab. They don't have Pharaoh. They probably have grab here. They have beat, and they most likely have window as well.
They probably
so
have
watch out.
throw.
They're probably gonna go coast.
Yeah,
If
they're
not,
gonna
they're gonna try to
barrage.
fight main.
That window is beautiful.
Careful. We only got Zen mains right now.
Yeah, I'm
Far
not
right, far right.
Only him.
Hustle,
hustle.
Only Zen heals. Play slow. Play slow.
Play go. Play
Maybe
point.
they're in the W queue.
Please, say anywhere.
Dragons. There's dragons.
No, I went straight into the.
Okay, they use 2 ult. They use 3 ults there.
Can we touch?
I don't think.
No. Oh, good.
Yeah. So, if a couple things here, if we're gonna match either Farah or Farah into Echo, okay, so Michi, how confident are you on Farah? Like, are you like, you feel like super good about how you can play?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have a Zen and they don't have a Zen or Mercy, you're automatically at an advantage. So
the heals, no?
what?
Because of the heals, like you can heal them.
Yes. So, but with Harmony and Discord, you win every single 1v1, every single time. Now, if it's someone that you're not confident against, then you want. So there's 2 fair play styles. What you think about? Either number 1, you are taking the 1v1, you're forcing the 1v1 every single time. So you're trying to bait them into fighting you, and you force them. You like take that fight, call for your orbs, and try to win it. If it's something where you don't think you can win that 1v1, and what you can do is try to bait them into attacking you, and you just dodge and you take all that attention away. Okay, that's the same concept of marking. You're just trying to make them attack you, and you're just dodging and living. Okay, when they're playing Farah against the kind of comp you're running, any kind of Rhine comp, ground comp, expect them to build barrages fast. So we should expect a barrage mid-fight on first fight every single time. When we're running our ults here, and this has happened on every single map, is we're over ulting whenever we're doing those plays. So I know I've kind of disrupted the flow. I'm not going to pause as much and talk as much in between the map because I want you guys to be able to play and get more comfortable in this kind of environment. But just try to remember to plan the exact ults you're going to use. Think about what's coming up and what ones you're going to use, and try to stick to those. Because like the fight we won, it was good that we won, but we used like all of our whole kit, you know. And then the duplicate we used when we were down 3 and the fight was pretty much already lost. So be thinking about when you're going to ult and try to plan accordingly. Okay. And if you're Michi, if you're playing a hero that has some kind of mobility, let's use Symmetra TP out of spawn. So if you're playing Junkrat or Echo or whatever, just walk forward, drop the TP for them, go back, swap, and then just use your mobility. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Keep it up, team. Let's play this out. So. All right, so when you're in spawn, even if you've played the map, I want you guys to talk about your first fight and where you're gonna hold if you win, every single time.
Are we gonna try and do point again, or are we gonna go?
Yeah, we're gonna do point again.
No, I'm gonna go up top.
Yeah,
where the
I'm
mega is,
trying,
right side.
Yeah, I'm trying to take.
Okay. Then I'll stay down with the tanks then.
Just take hard cover.
Yeah.
She needs those turrets. Gonna get everywhere.
I'll go junk first.
DB strat? Then we should do Zuby strat.
Okay.
5, 4.
Let's go.
2, 1. Round 4. Capture the
Oh, I forgot.
Girl.
Okay, let's go.
It's fine. I was already walking.
Go. Don't
You're
worry.
missing your
Go
Zarya. You're missing your
Where's
Zarya.
Zarya? Hold on.
Genji on left. Genji on left.
You only have one take. You only have one take. You're the only take up here.
He's back. Don't worry, we're good. Just throw on that Zarya. There's Genji.
Genji main. Look around. Look around. Shields on the
Down one.
Look around.
Down one.
Genji behind me. Right there, you're below.
Genji low.
Stay on the right.
Hanzo stairs.
Watch out.
Hanzo stairs on left.
There's a Lucio behind me.
Hanzo stairs on left. Genji's on right.
There's a Genji
Genji in your back line. Genji dead.
Yeah.
Hanzo's still on right.
Look around.
Please take hard cover. Please take hard cover.
Zarya was dead. Zarya. Oh.
Ryan's down.
You're done with them. You're done with them.
Nice.
Hanzo's still on the left.
Play slow. Get fucking.
Go Hanzo stairs.
You have one healer.
Hey, Lucian was there behind you.
Just behind.
Nice. Just hold point. Genji on left.
Oh my god, my aim. I don't want to talk about it.
All good.
It's fine. Okay, now we need to think about all.
Hold point.
I have window. You want to fire strike right now?
Ready, Shatter.
You want a window right
We
here?
can grab. We can use.
Genji's on right. Genji's on right.
Freeze on right. Our freeze on right.
Genji's Ryan on right. Watch out for that something.
Corner.
They're going top.
Yeah.
Lucio dead. We don't have Lucio.
Honestly, better fire strikes than the Masters teams we were working with earlier.
Ryan top.
Oh.
I actually got the two Windows
I didn't know
fire
we all
strikes.
died right there.
No, you're good.
This is a high school team, yes.
Nano, Dragons.
Blade.
Yeah, Blade, Nano, Dragons.
Hanzo.
They're gonna have Grav, Lucio, and a Shatter. So we want to play a little spread apart, okay?
Okay. Someone trapped left side.
Okay.
You're on your
Got
own.
him.
Nice.
Nice. Let me recharge shield real quick.
Down Genji.
I need
go.
healing.
I'm healing you.
Thank you.
Go point. Just play around. Little corner.
Very low.
There's Shatter.
I'll counter.
Go Ryan. Look at Ryan. Nice. They beat.
Okay, they use beat.
Watch out. Look at Zarya.
Oh, Genji
in your back line. Genji in your back line.
Build. Genji's behind you guys. Come on, kill him.
Oh, Grove. I'm in Grove.
You should be fine.
Thank you.
Oh, cause that Genji.
There's a
Someone trapped.
My favorite call.
You're down both healers. Play slow. Play slow.
I panicked when
Whoever is making those informational
Their
calls,
Hanzo's down.
those are really good calls.
That's you, come in.
Genji's main.
Ryan's discorded.
Okay, that's good.
70 to grab.
Phones on the left. How much to grab, Stenson?
Genji's going right side.
He just used it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Easy
but he
tire. Go in with that.
Oh,
Genji on right.
right.
I got Genji.
Hound's on left on stairs.
Hands up behind
I'm
you.
going top.
Zarya was dead.
Hound's on left on stairs.
You use storm arrows. I can't get that. I have to focus on you guys.
Don't worry, you guys are good.
Let's go down Ryan. Look at him.
I'm dead.
Ryan was dead.
Look at Zarya. Zarya dead.
Hanzo's still on left. He's half. Play slow. You only got one healer. Play slow.
I used Demore.
Play slow.
There's Genji.
Listen.
Hey.
I just used Demore. He's one. Oh my god, thank you.
Look at Ryan. 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 Look at Ryan.
I'm
Look at
set.
Ryan. We win this. It's winnable. Look at Ryan.
Chunks.
Play around corner and look at Ryan.
Discord on that Ryan. Discord on the Ryan. Come on.
Ryan dead.
Right.
Taking an off.
Someone's on right here. On right. On right. Get on before she leaves.
You guys are anti. You guys are anti. Watch out.
They're fine. They're fine.
Nice.
I have noon for next fight. For last
It's
fight.
all good. All good. Treat her right. Treat her right. Treat her right. Treat her right.
Right.
She's half. Watch the dragon.
Dragons.
Dash out of these. Nice.
Kill me. I have done what I must.
Wait, listen. We're using too many ults when the grabs comes out. So if and I'm gonna tell you, when I have trans, don't use your Emor, okay? Unless I
You
die.
didn't have it last time.
I had it when they grabbed and then they sent out the dragons. I had it and you put down Emor.
So
I literally trans and you put it down.
You
so
trans
the way that we combat this, because this will happen in every team, is we always talk about what you're using to counter their whatever combo, okay? Because when they pick Genjiana, you now have another combo you have to think about having to counter, okay? So when we ult track and we know they have Grav or we know they have Nano Blade, we talk about between the supports, okay? This is specifically on you two to decide who's using what cooldowns for what. Now, against a Nano Blade, Trance will not cut it because he can slash dash and one-shot you through it. Doesn't matter. So that means if they ever have Nano Blade, we need to specifically time our Immortality Field and our Zarya bubble, okay? So Roku, if they have Nano Blade, you have to save your bubble. You absolutely have to. So as soon as he does his little dash, gets nanoed, and is doing his initial thing, we're looking to Immortality Field, and then you're bubbling whoever he dashes on. Okay, that's the only way we live through that combo, unless you hit like a shatter or he just whiffs all his stuff like you did that last time. All right, we did a good job of turning and focusing him, and then you shattered him at the end, and he died. So that was good. But whenever you introduce another combo before every fight, we're really, really, really slow with talking about what we're gonna do. Okay, because there's a lot of unnecessary comps that are coming out, talking about things that really don't matter. When you're in a map, just remember that whatever's said should be said to benefit the current fight or the next fight. And then anything, like, do your best not to be like passive aggressive or whatever, but it's really important that everyone understands that whatever's being called right here and right now only matters to what's happening right here and right now. Okay, and so don't worry about offending someone, and don't get offended if someone says something like really direct to you. So we have so many unnecessary comms that are going on. I want to be really focused about what's happening in between fights. So just like I gave Crusader that job of thinking about where the fight's happening and how he's going to play around it, right? And we have our ult comms that we're already doing. I want to be thinking about when we know that they have a combo, that conversation of what we're doing to counter it every time, so we don't have the overlap. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Understood? All right.
Yeah.
We're doing good. We're doing good here. So what's the plan? Talk.
We're gonna TP out of spawn and go bridge.
Okay.
First fight, and then we'll try to hold it from there.
We have to be careful if they have a Lucio, not play too close to the side.
Yep.
You wanna fight outside of point, or you wanna fight on point?
Try to be in point. We can use walls for cover.
Go all together.
Let's go.
They have Genji. Genji
Just
right
on the
side.
Ryan. Just put on the Ryan. He's half already.
Look at
No
Ryan.
deflect.
Hanzo,
Genji's
right
behind
there.
on right. Genji's behind on right.
Okay.
Hanzo's on right as well.
Okay. Ryan half. Hold point here. Ryan discarded. Look at Ryan. Nice.
Sorry, I have.
Look at
Get the
Genji down.
Genji,
Look
get
at
the
Genji. Genji half. You're good. You're good, something.
Don't sleep.
Look at the Ana. Ana one. Ana one point.
Ana.
Genji's out.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Okay. You hold corner here, and then once they start pushing, we back to point.
Can you shoot? I'm gonna spam.
Okay.
Okay, there.
Genji going on window on left.
I see.
Yeah, he's already on point. Or 5 point.
Okay, he's white room.
I can go after him. I think he's out.
Okay, Ryan's coming up.
They're on bridge. They're on bridge.
On right.
Yep. Hold point.
I have fire strike for one.
Ryan. Get the Ryan. Get the Ryan.
I'm asleep.
Genji's on point. Genji's on me, Pew, please.
Nice.
Genji in your
behind.
back line.
You're down. Hey.
You're down too.
I'm dead.
You're down.
All good. All good. All good.
Group up.
Should have windowed. For the right side fight.
Genji's up front.
What's the plan? We're super
Go
slow.
white room.
I have window. When you going to first?
Let's go white room.
I don't think they have. They're gonna have the Genji Ana combo, so you can use.
No, they're definitely gonna have nano.
That's why they're gonna have it this fight. So I won't. I won't transfer it.
Make sure Luis can
Nice.
pass.
Luis, go to Luis. You can take window
Go,
there.
go, go.
Okay, okay.
Watch out for giants. Giants coming in.
Dragon's coming
In
In
down.
the middle. It's
White
main,
room.
main. It's in the main. Just avoid it.
I have shatter here. We can go for this. Come on.
Wait, you want me to window?
Yeah. No.
Oh, you
My
said
bad.
yeah, and then you
Block
said
it.
no.
Yeah, my bad. Go.
Got a pick.
Careful
Go in with that.
purple.
Zarya.
Go in. Push
Zarya
in with
one.
that.
You guys got this.
Genji's
Look, Genji.
back.
Look at Genji. Look at Genji. Look at Genji.
Genji one, Genji one.
Nice.
Dead.
Alright, and then
we're
next time,
taking corner,
save
take-
it for the combo. Save it for Nano Blade.
Take the corner, and then once you see them push up, go point.
Save
Go
Emo
point
for
once you
Nano
see them
Blade.
push up.
He was about to die.
Yeah, but I mean like this fight. They're gonna have it this fight. So
Yeah, it's gonna
There's
be
no shatter. They have grab. Watch out.
Luis,
I'll
you're
save flash for
probably
Genji
gonna
too.
have.
Yep. Rotate the point. Rotate the point. Rotate the point.
It's on that Genji. Genji's just put it.
Ryan's shield is really low.
Genji's main.
Genji.
Go,
use
go,
light.
go, go.
He's flash.
He's nanoed. I'm pinned. I'm stunned. Bye bye.
Play around cover. Play around cover.
This is just you.
Okay. Well, I'm dying on point.
Okay, they use
'Cause every time I
Nano
do that,
Blade, Beat.
Like I just
I'm
wish.
going left
They
side.
use
Oh,
beat.
We'll go
Yeah, they use
white
beat.
room again.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
they're gonna
have.
have grab dragons.
Yeah, they're gonna have dragons next fight.
Yeah. Let's go.
Go right room.
Luis, I need you to take the off angle through the window. Cross everyone else. Just watch out. I have shatter in 20. Brian's probably close to shatter too.
I had grab by the way.
Okay.
Oh my.
Like,
You're down by you.
We're down
and it's
healer.
right now. Now, big.
Good, it's good, it's good.
Another
Go
one.
Go on,
We're
go
fine
on.
with that. We're fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
Alan.
stabilize.
Take
Don't
point,
push too
take
far.
point.
Don't push too far. We only got Zen heals. Come on.
Okay, Alan.
Okay, we use
Papa.
3.
Get ready for the re-engage here.
Okay, Anna, just use Emo
Ready
for
for the
dragons
re-engage.
instead, okay?
They're going
yeah,
white
yeah,
room. They're
yeah,
going
yeah.
right. Samari,
Yeah, it doesn't
rotate
work.
around point. They're going right room.
I'm going.
Watch for Genji in our back.
Watch out for dragons. You can split us up here.
Dragons,
Going up
dragons
point.
came out on main.
They just boosted into a point. They just boosted into a point.
Back up.
You guys were all gonna die. I needed you.
Go Genji. Go. Look at
Sorry.
I'm sleeping.
Genji dead. Get the Lucio.
Come on.
Get the Lucio.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna
Clean
die.
up. Get the Lucio. Look at the Lucio and Hanzo.
You're down both heals. You're down both heals.
It's only okay. Hanzo on right room.
Play slow. You're
Hanzo
down
white
both heals. You got no heals, Victor. Use bubble.
Ryan in. Ryan, look at Ryan. 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 What do you want? Look at Ryan.
Threw Emord
I'm
on
dead.
point.
I just
Winnable.
died.
Okay.
Fight for it. Fight for it. It's winnable. Fight for it. It's winnable.
Ah, I
Use
don't need
bubble.
Emord.
I'm dead.
Oh, he got it.
Okay, they use Nano
Or die on
Blade.
point. Or kill yourself. It doesn't matter.
It's fine. We gotta move off this last fight. Come
Luis,
on.
you're gonna have to touch here.
I can't. I'm still respawning.
Okay. We're gonna have to start going then.
I can go into point and Emord.
You're gonna get booped. Behind you. You're gonna get booped.
Yeah, my bad.
Whoa.
Oh, we didn't touch.
Victory.
I threw Emord. Please. I should have gone Lucio. I thought we were gonna be able to touch.
Okay, so if they are nanoblading, remember we're trying to live with immortality field and bubble. Roku, remember when they have that combo, you're looking to bubble support, right? My Zen player, and if they're gonna focus you and you have trance, it's better for you to pop trance and live since it makes him vulnerable. Even if he's gonna be able to one shot through
Especially if you.
I'd
can
rather
use a
you
dash.
live and use it than try to hold it. Okay.
Okay.
Same thing. And remember on cough, if it's last fight, okay, our planning is a little lacking right now. When it's last fight, and we know that there's only going to be, if we win one more fight that we win, then don't be afraid to use ults. Even if you're saving trance to counter grab or whatever, If the Zarya is dead or whoever we're planning for is dead, just use your ult and let's try to win that fight. And when we did the play where we got the 6K on McCree, that was like the least hype 6K I've ever heard. We hype each other up, help each other out. Pay attention to the kill feed, you know? We got 6, everyone's dead. You can take a point and set up for next. Pump each other up.
I was happy about that. I was like, damn, okay.
And be ready for next fight, because the moment that fight ends, we're automatically thinking about next.
Time.
Yep. Our time right now is too long before thinking about next. Okay. That was really close. And yeah. So let's go. King's Row.
Can I ask a question about? Is it worth it then, if we don't want to overcommit support ults, or we don't want to use the trance for the Nanoblade? Would it be worth it to just solo grab the Genji?
Yes.
I've talked to Roku about that. Like, it's okay to just solo grab like an ulting Genji. I do it in my ranked games when I can.
Absolutely. Solo grab, shatter, both of those are totally fine for doing it, especially if we had to blow our immortality field early. There are times where we're not going to be able to hold the immortality field for it. That happens, all right? And if it does, just call that you don't have it, and that's something that we can do too, is commit the solo grab.
Yeah, you don't always have to look for the 6-man, right?
All right.
Do you
so
Immort is useless against Nanoblade.
Yeah.
Well,
if you want, we can switch it around.
It's not hold on. It's not useless against Nanoblade, because it's going to save you from a slash dash. One slash dash is the difference between living and dying. So I don't want you to think about it being useless.
That's why I'm so annoyed by it, because every time I Immort for it, I die anyways. Like, I'm literally trying so hard, and then he gets a 3K off of it.
If you throw your immortality field down, you hit shift and you heal, and or you do your thing, then trust everyone else to do theirs, okay? Because if you do that, plus we get the bubble, plus people focus him, that's our best chance of beating it. Even at the highest possible level of Overwatch League, Nanoblade is still a team wipe ultimate, like against a good Genji. So don't think about like, it's useless to do it. The only chance you have of winning against it is doing that. Okay, it's more useless to try to commit a trance to it, because you waste an ultimate as opposed to wasting a cooldown, and that is a way bigger deal when you can win fights off of trance.
But if we see that like if she throws out Emor, right, and then does your healing, and it's like everybody's not in the Emor, would it be better just to use the trance when he's already slashed and dashed?
I mean, yes, but the idea behind the immortality field is to live through one slash. Okay, that's it. That's all we care about. Because if he doesn't have dash anymore, he can no longer one-shot someone from full to zero. So you can trance if you need to live. Like, I'm not saying just don't trance at all, but I'm saying immortality field is the only way that this combo if we ever live against this combo. That's why it's so important.
One additional thing that you can do is like Aero's saying is that it's not going to counter the entire blade on its own, but this sort of thing where it's like if you're delaying them just long enough where the Genji has to slash one more time, he's going to be staying in that place. It's going to make your team easier to focus fire on him. And if you want to add one more thing to potentially just stall him, maybe even half a second longer, one of the things that you can do is if you're going to survive that dash slash because of the immortality field, if you have your exo boots charged as well, as soon as that dash reset is gone, you can just pop up, so he has to find you again, looking vertically, and that might only save like a quarter of a half a second, because you're going to come back to Earth right in the hands of a waiting Nano Genji. But in the meantime, he's in one place, he can't go anywhere because he doesn't have a dash reset from killing you, so you're not going to be countering the entire blade with the immortality, you're just buying a little bit of time. Your death in most of these situations is going to be inevitable, but it might be enough for you to trade, and if you die, but in exchange they lose a nanoed blading Genji, it's like you traded your life for 2 ultimates and
crazy value.
It's crazy value. So you don't have to counter his entire blade, you don't have to survive the blade in order to get that value and turn things in your favor. Oh, all right. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about what you thought about the first round and how the team's doing compared to the usual. One of the things that it's often hard for us to tell is how the team is, compared to usual. Are they like more nervous or anxious than usual?
They're definitely more nervous.
Yes. Yeah.
I would say that Crusader is more vocal, like in scrims. So like Crusader will like overpower other calls. So like Corgi wouldn't be calling as much as she's doing right now.
Yeah.
I would say Crusader is more calm and collected right now, and he's pretty indecisive.
He's still
like in this scrim because usually when he calls is like it's mandatory. Everything's enforced on that call, and whether he dies or not, he's still gonna go for that play.
Yeah, I mean, you can have players like that, not just in the difference between like scrims and tournaments, but also, like you have players. I think that Muma was probably the one who was known to be somebody who didn't really calm at all during scrims or something, but then especially in a performance environment like an actual official game, Muma would just go like play entirely differently, very, very aggressive, like commanding leadership role within it. So you could definitely have those sort of situations, and it's it's one of the things where no matter how much you practice or scrim, there are going to be some things that are just completely different. Also, something is happening because if you are freaking out right now. But yeah, and the other thing just I wanted to kind of mention is that the comms overall, I think that for low-ranked teams, comms can be pretty difficult. Honestly, I think that this is something that Aero will mention at some point, but like the level that the team play is at for the SR of the individual players is really quite impressive. I think this is probably one of the largest differentials I've seen between kind of teams SR and where they're probably playing at as a unit. There's certainly some individual things that we can clean up and help, but like on the macro level, the two of you have done a fantastic job of giving Aero a team with extremely solid fundamentals to work with. So
thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, we've been working with him for 3 months, and I'm a pretty aggressive shot caller in my ranked game, and so I think Victor gets that, gets a lot of that from me. But yeah, we've just honestly tried to give them as much structure as we can. I mean, I'm not a high-ranked player. I've peaked in Diamond. I'm kind of a student of the game.
I mean, that's still top 10% of players is Diamond. So.
And so, yeah, we're just trying to, Quinn and I, use our knowledge collectively to kind of build this structure.
I would say Slank, he's like, he put down the foundation of how Overwatch should be played, and put all of that into their minds, and I would come in and just micromanage,
Well, because Quinn's the GM, so he's the mechanically gifted one, so we kind of split the responsibilities in that respect, I guess.
The one thing that I've found working with younger teams, not necessarily just like low SR teams. I mean, there are some really high SR young teams out there, but the thing that is like most common to me when I'm coaching teams that are kind of like 13 to 18 years old is that a lot of them will have these calls where they're saying things, good call outs, but they're like rather empty, or they aren't kind of acting it. You have a lot of these people, like if you kind of instruct them to call like Rhine low or something like Discord, they'll often do those calls without actually making sure that the call is accurate, or everybody will be calling their own individual things with no one else reacting to it, which is going to be one of the hardest things, I suppose, to coach. And so with that, like one of the things that I like to at least kind of talk about is that during the game, you really shouldn't be telling other people explicitly what to do. And I think that's something that Aero touched on very briefly. But in terms of comms, like you want to be providing calls in a way that, provides good, solid information to the rest of the team. But ideally, the things. Go ahead.
Sorry. Just for clarification on that, you mean from a teammate perspective? Don't tell people exactly what to do.
Yes.
Not from a coaching perspective.
Yeah, not from a coaching. So from like one teammate to another. I don't mean from definitely you need to tell them what to do as a coach. But if you say specific things like if you're just like what's a good example of this? Like one of the things that's happening here, right, is that your Zenyatta player is calling Discords, probably because they've been instructed to calling Discords. But sometimes they're being called when the Discord is not on, or when the Discord has gone off. Like it's happening quite a few times where you know, the Zenyatta is putting the Discord on the Rhine, and then it's getting covered either because it's going out of LOS or it's being bubbled off of that, and the Discord call is still coming out. And this can be an example of where, you know, the like the Zenyatta player has been told to call Discords, right? And they might call Discords even when there isn't quite, you know, there isn't one up, and that's just been kind of what they've been told to do. So you don't want to you don't want people doing empty calls, and I think that at some point it's good to get to the point where calls are repeated to the point of being followed, but like the level of repetition in these comms are probably higher than necessary, and you can have these kind of what it was kind of it's like very chaotic democratic calls, I would almost call that, where you know, people really decide what to do based off of not one individual person making a call and it being followed, or people seeing opportunities and calling those, and they have this very kind of fluid structure of a leadership. But more of like a chaotic democratic shot calling is where if you want to have something done as a tracer, you say like Ana, and if somebody else agrees with your call, they'll be like Ana, and it's like a whole bunch of seagulls. And then if somebody else has a counter call and they think that on is actually a bad choice and that they should be going on to the Zenyatta instead, they'll just like start saying Zenyatta louder and more intensely. And for some people, even some pro teams, this like really aggressive, just mass chaos calls, it can work, sort of thing. But we're seeing the kind of communication that we're seeing from the team right now is a style where you have this more fluid leadership, where there's different people seeing opportunities and calling them out, but less of people actually reacting to those opportunities. So, you know, when we are making calls, we want to make sure that the calls that are being made are providing information in a way that changes how a person's play. And the phrase that I like to use in that example is that calls should imply action. And
yeah, I've learned that from watching your streams.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, right? It's like you don't direct somebody to do it. You're not directing a person to make an action. You're providing them information that will inform their action. So there is, and this happens quite a bit, where you can get people like correcting each other. You know, in the present, you can have people being like, you do this or do that sort of thing. But that should be, their decision should be, or their actions should be implied by the calls being more informational. And then it's a very, very, very common thing, but you know, during any sort of scrim or performance environment, there should be basically no discussion happening in the past tense at any point in time. Present tense during fights, future tense,
and future.
The future tense during those kind of like interfight periods when you're planning. But past tense, it's a waste of collective brain power to think about what's happened. You can do that in VOD reviews, or if it's the finals, doesn't really matter. Always kind of that forward thinking kind of shot calling. And the last thing that I wanted to mention about shot calling was that words are hard. No, I had one more point. Give me a second here. La-di-da-di-da. What was it? I'm gonna remember this. My brain is just completely blank. Oh, yeah, so the last thing is that you don't want a person saying what another person should do, because they're not sitting in that first person perspective, right? Or you don't want somebody directing, because it might make sense from kind of like if Zarya is telling Rhine to do something, yeah, it's like you might have a pretty good idea what the Rhine does, but the Rhine knows like what they're comfortable with, what they can do. They see more information. In the same way that you cannot accurately diagnose what is going wrong with the team or with an individual, you can't diagnose what is actually going wrong, nor should you even bother to try during a map. But yeah, I mean, that's what VOD reviews are for, right? Because yeah, it's like you don't even, it's even at the pro level. I mean, you're so focused on your own gameplay, you don't know the exact situation, and it also can just lead to passive aggressiveness. Like if you do think,
and we have had that issue before.
Everyone does,
because Victor's communication style, and we've tried to work with him on it about being less domineering, I guess might be the word I'm looking for, but it's
pretty common.
Definitely, it's rubbed Anna Zarel the wrong way a couple times.
Yes.
Just because like he will,
for like fight.
Because he will go in sometimes and just shatter at 1 HP and get deleted. You know, I mean, he's
My kind of Reinhardt.
He's like expecting the entire team to follow up on that, but he's not understanding what's going on behind him as completely as he could be. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I used to play. I'm an off-tank player now, but it is hard to know like exactly what
it's
is
very
going on
hard,
behind you all the time.
right?
So, yeah.
Yep. And you can especially if it's that sort of thing, you can almost ask for permission. I'm like looking for shatter, or like, can I shatter? And somebody will be like yes or no or something like that. But yeah, like calling is one of those things that I think that Aero usually in these coaching sessions focuses primarily on like macro and micro and tactic strategy and things like that. But I always like to focus on kind of the calling and the actual like team structure and teamwork. But yeah, you know, people being like, you need to do this, like being micromanaged and being passive aggressive are probably the two most common symptoms of poor comms, especially at lower elos and lower age teams. But yeah, it's one of those things where you want people to be like direct but neutral with their feedback. Ooh, that's a big slam. On. Oh no, that was sorry. Blue team's the one we're cheering for. That was a good slam. Yeah. So sorry.
So how do we? I guess how do we coach that?
Yeah. So it's ways about like, you know, the people who are direct or the people who want to micromanage, right? You don't want to tell them to stop because like they are trying to win. They're doing that not because they hate their teammates or because they think they're playing with scrubs. Like they're doing it because they want to win.
They're all friends from high school, and we don't want this game to get in between that friendship, you know.
Yeah. So like,
because first and foremost, we're here to have fun. And
yeah, it is really just teaching them about communication, and I think that the easiest way for you to kind of coach this is have ways for them to present problems to the team, not solutions, sort of thing. Where it's like, you know, if a Reinhardt, for example, if Crusader here isn't getting enough healing, and that's a consistent problem to him, you know, he shouldn't be saying, Ana, you need to heal me, or Zarya, you need to bubble me. You know, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, you know, guys, I'm having trouble staying alive. What can we change? And then people can present
the way he frames it to the team.
So it's the same thing. Like he's trying to, like at the end of the day, he wants to survive and he wants to win. You want to win team fights. You want to win games. And you just kind of need to align his questioning with what he's actually wanting. You know, so. It is like you want to get the same result. It's just the way that it's being approached. And if you present the problem and have people present solutions from first-person perspective, you don't want somebody else proposing a solution for somebody else because they're not playing that hero. They don't know what's comfortable. They don't know what's outside of it. And it can also be like, you know, Ana, you need to heal me, sort of thing. And Ana's like, you know, I'm dealing with this tracer, sort of thing. So, and then you can have this resentment where the Reinhardt gets mad that the Ana can't just deal with one pesky tracer, sort of thing, where, you know, maybe the solution to Reinhardt not getting healed is the fact that it's nothing to do with the Reinhardt, it's nothing to do with the Ana, it's actually that the McCree needs to mark and keep that tracer in check. So if people kind of present solutions from that first-person perspective, and instead of trying to direct and tell people other people what to do, you can arrive at these solutions faster, better, and hopefully with a little bit of higher esprit de corps. So I like, you know, you definitely want people like Crusader to have that very, like, you need that kind of alpha presence where somebody like wants to win and is hungry and is trying to actively solve problems. There's nothing worse than like a passive and apathetic team, but you know, somebody can be that leader without domineering others. They can lead without having to be dominant, you know. So, yeah, I like, just, you don't want them to shut up. You don't want them to kind of not say things. You just got to teach them in a way that, you know, they're presenting information that is going to be received well by the others, you know, in a kind of, you know, you want a positive feedback loop where their suggestion or their problem solving is going to lead to other people wanting to contribute to that problem solving instead of just being, you know, yes or no sort of thing. So.
I tried, well, I didn't try it. I was talking to Crusader about like how to shot call and how to, like, when shot calling, you're making sure that you're not going into your teammate's mental state.
Yeah.
So, like, where, you know, he's being aggressive with like his shot calls and he's saying like, okay, you know, we should have done better there, and you know, because he would always do this. And there was a time where like it got too much. He got too much into his teammates' heads, where like a problem came up to us where one of our healers, you know, she almost wanted to quit playing with the team.
Yeah. No, that sort of situation, again, very common, especially when you do have these, like, you know, it's a competitive environment, everybody wants to win, but, you know, when you don't, you gotta at least be, you know, you can get enjoyment from losing as long as you feel like improvement, doing it together, almost had it, you know, if you can kind of see that victory together, but, you know, you gotta win and lose as a team. And honestly, one of the things that you can do is, like, this is where, you've heard, I'm sure, a lot of teams do that, like, fighting chant. It's the Koreans doing it a lot. You don't have to pick the word. Let's see this nano blade. Big!
Nice
Oh shit, they did it!
on the nano blade.
Oh goodness, that was fantastic. Aero's gonna be happy about that one.
Still got a lot of value, but
yeah, I mean, like, that's step one to countering that. That's really fantastic stuff. Sorry, the thing that I was saying is, like, have some sort of chant. Like, Aero also had a point. Like, Aero's trying to hype them up when he was talking about the trying to get the like the 4K or the 6K hyped up a little bit within the team.
Right.
But like confidence, momentum, esprit de corps is a very real factor. You know, the same team being demotivated, it's like people just aren't trying. They don't have that pep in their step. They're not trying to proactively solve problems or win fights. Like, a team like that is going to lose. So keeping that like momentum, confidence, esprit de corps as high as possible is really important. But, you know, if you're in a losing situation, that's where that little chant, it can be such a silly thing, but just every time you walk outside of the spawn room together, just do a specific word. Like, you could be like, forward, or together, or your school's name, or doesn't matter, but just kind of like, something is just a reset. Because if you are, like, troubled or anxious or something, it's like, you know, if you're trying to problem solve between a team fight and a performance, like, I mean, there's a reason teams do it, you know. So that sort of thing where you can just have this mental reset and refocus where, you know, if a fight or breaks out or a discussion is being unresolved, you need to get people out of that that mindset where it's like, you know, this argument is still resolved, or you want to get them out of their heads and back into the game when this problem solving is going on, and having something that just signifies to the players that is like, you know, discussion is over, performance is now. Just and that one word can do that better than the spawn room doors actually opening. So,
okay,
that's something. Yeah, it's you know, players will find it really cheesy, but it's one of those things that on any team that I'm seriously working with, it's something that I enforce every single time. So, it's silly, but it works. There's a reason people do it.
Just a random question: are you working with a team seriously now, like contenders?
No, I'm not. I think that just from like the getting back into the content, I would like to again. I've been working with a lot of teams for very short periods of time, and it's kind of unfulfilling. At this point, I'd like to start working with the team a little bit longer term, just to get a little bit more fulfillment out of it. But that's one map, so let's hop back in and see what Aero has to say about that one.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Where, you know, where what you're trying to do doesn't work. So going forward, what do you guys think is the best way to counter Widow in those kind of positions?
Play around corner.
Corners, okay. Corners and the shield thing you talked about?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing we can do there is if Widow is a big threat to you and you don't have a way to contest her and you have to keep your ults, then, you know, you can move together with the shield. Think about a rotation you can take that eliminates her sightline. So, for example, we could we basically had 6 ults, so we could all rotate underneath the horseshoe, like on the right through the mega, eliminate that sightline completely, and then do our play from there. When you had the tire, you could even just chase her with the tire, and then we push up while she's running from the tire. You know, if you have to use an ult to make space, it's the same concept as like windowing on a corner to force them back. Use your tire the same way. On second point, when we remember how we capped first and then we pushed, we took all the space, and you guys did a fantastic job of taking that space. So from that position, how do we utilize that space after we take it? It's a 2-step thing, right? We take it and then we utilize it. So what, in hindsight, now that it's over, what could we have done to take the next fight on our terms?
Play around corner and play slower instead of taking it to them.
We could have just like found a different way to get to point instead of always going main. Yeah.
Okay. So when you when you have control of a space, okay, just because you're on attack doesn't mean that you can't play defensively. You set up, you have that space. They have to come to you to stop the cart. So we're in possession of the whole space. We set up our Junkrat tire, just like how their Doomfist set up on first to do, you know, a slam onto your backline was already set up and ready to go. Set up in a position to get a cheeky tire. Set up for your play. Whatever play we call, we want to do it on our terms. If they have to react rather than us reacting, that's half a second where we have an advantage. And half a second is the difference between a tire exploding and killing 3 people and a tire getting killed by a firestorm, right? So if we set up, if we already have the space and we're set up and we call a play, then if that play involves someone having to hide, our Junkrat hides, whoever's in front scouts. So Ryan, Crusader, you would scout and you would call, all right, go now. And then we go first, okay? They start, they have to come in towards us and then we make the play, make them have to react to us. What happened in that fight is we set up, we had the space and we kind of we stood there and we waited for something to happen. We didn't make a play happen. So if we have control, make the play happen. We already talked about that. So on third with a nanoblade play, again, I'm gonna ping you guys to think about this. What could we have done in hindsight to counter that nanoblade? Do you remember it?
Yeah.
And he got shattered, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we all didn't
He got
focus on
bubbled.
killing him.
No, he got bubbled like right
He got
after.
bubbled, yeah.
So he just dashed as soon as I got up.
So we could have played more from each.
Because I lamped.
Yeah. So what I would have preferred in that scenario, because the shatter did happen and we didn't kill him, so that was like a secondary. But just like we talked about solo graving beforehand, solo grav doesn't require the Genji to be on the ground for it to hit, and that comes out faster and more chance we live. But the moment that that shatter comes out, we all have to turn and be ready for it. Okay. And we lived through that Grav Dragon without trance. You guys remember that? That was sick.
Yeah.
That was sick. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah, that was so exciting.
So and then just a tidbit against Doomfist. He's the kind of character where when you guys are pushing through a choke or starting to take space, you have to clear corners for him. So just be when you walk through a choke, take a peek right, take a peek left. Think about where the Doomfist is going to set up. The best value he's going to get is if you don't see him coming. And so when we're walking through, if we check all the Doomfist spots that we know of, like what would be the most likely spot for him to set up an E off high ground, then we want to try to poke him out beforehand. Ideal. Yeah, let's take 5 minutes. I know I've talked a ton. We've done a few maps. So let's take a quick 5-minute bathroom break, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about first fight.
Passion.
So,
what's going on? Okay, well, while they're figuring that out, let's talk. So first fight, what's the play?
We take top.
Yeah. We go. I go around the left side. Winston, Zarya. We're gonna stay there, and then we go a little bit back, and then we go far down. I think.
Well, on defense here, where are you guys setting up?
Probably I'm gonna set up blue box.
Blue
I'm
box.
still playing
Okay.
back, right?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah.
Okay. So start blue box, and then after first corner, where are you guys setting up?
The corner before yeah. Drop down and go to corner near
Maybe I go. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. All good.
Maybe I go down in the dive.
Wondering why there's an
echo.
echo.
I don't know.
I'm so confused. I was like, where's your echo?
All right. Are they?
Where's my heroes? Did your heroes go away?
What?
My heroes went away.
Can you guys tell me a bit more about Double Bubble? I'm pretty new to it.
Yeah. So for for Winston, it's going to be important that you don't waste your jump in during doing this. So you think like try to set up in advance where you can have your jump to jump away, if you need to. You have to be able to choose between jumping out to safety or jumping a little more aggressive to like continue the fight. So your jump cooldown is by far the most important thing for you to think about. When you're engaging with bubble, like you drop down, you get bubble. You're just taking attention and taking distraction. And this comp is more about like Zarya is more determining where the fight like is going to happen. Because we don't have a true shield. You're blocking supports and thinking about like using your bubble to block support healing and to isolate someone. And then focusing on wherever your DPS are, whoever your DPS can focus. So your Zarya more determines where the fight's going to happen, and then you drop down in the middle of that fight. You try to separate their front line and back line, and then that's when our DPS have an opportunity to be able to find value somewhere. So I wasn't reading chat. What's going on here, Jayne? Are we good? Or
oh yeah, they're good. They're just trolling. They're trolling.
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking at chat. And
imagine actually being focused on the coaching.
So. Okay. Yeah, and then with Primal, Primal doesn't have like Primal's kind of a weird ult. You can use it to live or just to separate supports in the back line, and try to juggle someone realistically. And what supports are we playing? BAP and what? Zen again?
Yeah, BAP Zen.
I think Mercy is good for high ground to take the high ground and go back and to help the Winston.
I think you guys are used to playing BAP Zen though, right? For your team.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to play Zen because Corgi is pretty sure she's not going to switch.
Okay, BAP Zen. All right, that's fine. Yeah. So So BAP Zen Zarya, you guys are a nice little duo. You're a trio. You guys are holding hands and determining like where if where the fight's going to happen is going to be based solely on like where you guys are able to find value. Okay, the three of you. That's what I'm trying to say. So whenever we are doing these plays and we get the monkey drops down with Zarya bubble, use this bubble to separate someone. Then we find discords and we're following up on Discord calls. Okay, that's like our neutral. So, all right, let's get it.
Hey, about this, I'll be in your care.
What'd you say?
I'll be in your care.
Okay, nice, thanks.
Make sure you call when you're dropping or like when you need his bubble.
Okay.
And don't bubble yourself
so
before you bubble. Don't use your bubble, Victor, before the Zarya bubble has gotten all of its value, if possible.
Oh, someone did a melee.
No one up top, I think. Bottom.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I said pause.
I have trolled so much.
Actually, it's
Okay.
annoying.
All right, I'm just gonna go. They're on attack. We're good, right?
Yeah.
Victor, are you in group
What do you mean?
for Overwatch? Are you in group chat?
Yeah.
Because Alan's doing push attack.
Yeah, of course. I'm always in there.
Okay. Just asking. Oh, we started?
Yeah. Like you jumped on your Hanzo.
Do we?
Sheesh.
That was already.
That was.
Hold on. I'm just gonna restart. I'm so scuffed. I'm sorry.
It's all good. All good.
We're just restarting.
Chat, where does sheesh come from?
All right.
I feel like such a boomer.
I will chalk that up as a W.
Yeah, I did this for content.
For the content!
Melee. Or no, melee, okay. I have besties.
Zarya top.
Are you okay? You're like flying.
This is a widow.
Literally the same thing happened in the last one too. Amazing.
He's body blocking, he can't.
Widow main.
Let's go back.
Tracer right. Tracer on.
Widow's main.
Okay. On Tracer on right.
On me.
Jumping down.
Okay.
What's the
Please, if
Discord?
you can't get out.
I can bibble you. I can bibble you.
Okay, going in.
Oh, we need to go back. We need to go back.
Okay, going
What a
back.
stop, what a stop, what a stop.
There it is, stop.
We got a couple
Right break.
hits.
Top left, top right.
Break
Tracer
Discord.
line,
Right
Tracer,
here.
Tracer, Tracer.
I'm gonna jump in for the widow.
Sorry, Discord in.
Dropping in on break.
We're fighting a
Help your
Tracer.
back,
We're
help your
fighting a
back, help
Tracer.
your
We're
back,
fighting a
help your
Tracer.
back.
Okay.
Tracer gone. Tracer gone.
I'm 60 to dragon.
Okay.
We needed to back out. Be
We
focused
have
a little bit,
to
Tracer.
I'll try to contest it.
Widow top left, top left, top left.
Okay, here's the top left.
She
A
hit
jumper.
me. Oh,
Oh, nice pick. Go on, monkey.
you don't have main
Monkey
heal?
low, monkey low.
Tracer one.
You only have Zen heal?
I can bibble you. I can bibble you.
Okay.
Look out, look out. Come.
Okay, backing up.
Nice, nice, nice.
On my way, on my way. Sheesh, I hit those.
Tracer left side, high ground.
Okay.
Tracer's on. Tracer. Oh, no bomb. Thank you, I'm sorry. I had no even go.
No bibble, Winston, look out.
Yep. Backing up.
Zarya.
I'm so sorry.
Monkey up top, monkey up top.
Woo, that was a 1 HP injury.
Okay.
What's next? What's next?
Okay. Regroup
I
and
got
take the
one,
corner.
I got one.
Okay.
Predict.
Yeah, go corner. Go to the nearest corner.
I very far.
Yeah.
Me and Zarya are very far.
This is my first game, so today I need to warm up.
all good. Winston top right. I'm gonna take top here.
I have dragon.
And
Just
I-
cut out. Cut
Okay.
out.
Oh, I have window.
Okay.
You guys? I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna pause it real fast. Okay. Yeah. So with the subs, our comm dynamic has changed.
Yeah.
And so we just have to adapt. Because even if you're in a tournament and you have some subs, you're gonna have to adapt as well.
Mhm.
So at this point, you need to make sure that we're calling an ult combo. Even if you don't know like all the intricacies of how a comp is supposed to work,
Okay.
one of the basics we can do is just talk about what ults we have coming up and what we can use. So in this kind of situation, in general, if you have 6 ults, try to only use 2. So whatever you think is going to get the most value. The theoretical best way you can do is use the fast charging ults first. That way you'll have them up again, like following fights. But whatever you guys are most comfortable with where the fight's going to happen, just make sure we have a plan. Because right now, through first and second, we haven't really talked about what we're doing. What combos we want to do, anything like that.
Mhm.
Okay. So for this next fight, what do we want to use?
Let's see what we got.
I think Graf and Hansel.
Right. Yeah.
Dragon.
Sorry,
Should we
dragon.
window that or no?
I don't think it would need a window.
Yep, let's separate them. So we can try to set up a Grav Dragon. So be in position to set up and do that fast. Try not to like react to something. Think about where the next fight's going to happen and where that Grav Dragon is going to happen. Okay, and then if they have a way to counter it or it doesn't get much value, we can look to window mid fight. And then for the next fight, just talk about whatever the next ults are. In this kind of comp style, a side thing, real quick, Crusader.
Yeah.
I want you to focus more on denying the Widow
Okay.
than anything else you're doing right now, because
Okay.
we don't really have anything that can contest her, and you're pretty much the only one that can.
Okay.
So just be thinking more about what you can do with Widow against Widow, and then let our Zarya player control the tempo of the front line.
Okay.
All right, let's get a team.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Wait, call out the widow so I know where they are.
I'm looking at monkey.
Okay, Hans, are you ready?
She's
Yeah,
main.
Are you ready,
Jumping on
Hans?
widow.
No bubble?
I'm dead.
Jeez.
Get ready to recontest here.
I can window bob.
I can
Just throw Bob. Just throw Bob to recontest, and then from there they can use Grab Dragon.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Window's on window. Widow's on main.
Main bottom, main top.
Top.
Okay, going Widow.
She's happy, you can kill it.
There's a Tracer on our right. On our right. Okay, she's behind.
Okay. Go push up the mana.
Reloading.
Oh,
Big.
Oh, Widow's main, he's here.
Got her.
Okay.
Got her.
There's a thingy hiding behind, yeah. I wonder what her death per 10 are, because dies.
Next
Don't
fight,
chase
I'm gonna
that.
look for Primal. And
Don't chase that, they're right there.
Use your metallic for grab.
Yeah.
What are you gonna save? Transfer.
In case front line is all low.
Widow's main. We'll go jump in soon. I'm gonna jump in on it.
Monkey's getting ready to jump. Monkey jump. On point.
Widow dead.
No bubble. You're okay, nice. There's a Discord on Zarya.
Widow dead, we can push up a bit.
Tracer.
On the brig. Brig's is low.
Stabilize.
Okay. Widow Winston left.
Brig and Tracer hiding there. Tracer poked out, she recalled.
You ready to take corner?
She used up links.
Okay.
Widow's shooting.
Widow's main.
Behind.
Okay. Okay, I see her. Winston's ready to jump here. There's Winston.
He's gonna pull monkey.
Oh shit, sorry.
Oh, good.
I was trying to save you so you could trans.
Trace on me, left, help me.
Fuck.
I'm 80%.
Hi, Bob. Taking some.
Okay.
That Widow's still main.
Mura contest. Where is she?
She's all the way back.
Can someone else touch? I'll go for her. Oh.
Big ant.
I couldn't touch.
All good. All good.
I think that one of the things I'd like to figure out a way where I can play more of like the micro coach, because there's a lot of things that I'd like to provide feedback on an individual basis while Aero is doing a macro. I don't know what the best way to do that is.
Yeah, I mean,
like Mercy or something.
Normally in a situation like this,
but I would
if
suggest
it's a scrim,
Ana
I'll have
in
these
this
people
comp,
added so I can DM
if you're comfortable playing Ana, but
I don't have that.
Yeah, exactly. We can nano monkey, and then we still have transfer grabs and stuff.
I just have to be careful because they have a monkey and a tracer.
Yeah, so don't be like so distracted that all of us turn for a tracer. If tracer gets all of our attention in the middle of a fight or start of a fight, then that's way more value. Like just us not paying attention to the front is really tough. So don't everyone turn. Just try to do your best supports to deal with it. But DPS when we're playing, especially like two comps that are like Ash Hanzo, those kind of comps, make sure we're taking separate angles for crossfire. Don't be trying to shoot from the same angle, because that means one bubble can block off both DPS and we want to make them have to choose. So if you're playing a comp like that where you have like two hit scan or hit scan like heroes, do your best to set up two different angles for crossfires. And then our mid fight comms have like gone way down. So Edward, be extra loud about who you're discording, and so that way it gives everyone a little more focus on who to focus, a little more attention. All right. Okay.
Oh, look at Luis.
All right, let's ready up. Okay. Let's bring up that energy, team. Let's go.
Fighting.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna jump on top of bridge.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, let's go.
Jayne, I want those alpha comms, bro. Let's go.
I'm gonna push the car. Look out for Widow. Look out for Widow.
Okay.
She's top on the where Alan is.
Can you bubble me? In 3?
Yeah.
Okay, jumping in.
Yeah, go in.
I'm tagging the wall. I don't want to get picked.
He's one.
Monkey.
Help behind. Monkey Discord. Winston.
Zarya one. Nice. Going Winston. Ana's left. Get Ana.
Kill Widow. Nice.
Okay, Alan.
Take it off.
How did I get credit for that? Did I end? Oh, I anti-did.
Focus.
Set up next fight.
Top.
Yeah, plan.
Okay. I'm gonna be ready to drop here.
Tell me who you're pushing.
Okay. I'll be pushing. Monkey's on me, but I'm gonna be pushing on the supports.
I need help point. I need help point.
Okay.
I need help point.
Rotating the point.
Sorry, one.
Monkey.
Behind on your Ellen.
Anna discorded.
Break out, break one.
Breaks anti.
Look at Zarya.
I almost have nano for monkey.
Zarya discorded.
Sorry.
I have nano.
Monkey next. Monkey discorded.
Go on. Anna one.
How did she not die?
Set up next fight.
Get the Genji.
You're missing one. I got wrong spawn.
Set up next fight.
Okay. I prime. I'm gonna look for this fight. I'm gonna
I
set
have
up
nano.
on top of
Let me
station.
know when you want to go in so I can nano you.
Hey,
Alan.
I would suggest nano someone else when I primal.
Alan.
Help you, Zarya.
I have Biba.
Oh, okay.
You can jump in.
Okay. I'm gonna jump him.
I've grab. Jump
Okay.
in. We're gonna test this corner. Jump in. I can't grab there.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Okay. I'm gonna jump out.
Oh!
Nice, thank you. Okay. I'm a primal here.
Was a good try.
Big discorded.
Okay.
She my nade.
Get the Zarya. Oh.
Big Dick gets you.
Where's the comms? What's next?
Okay. I'm gonna jump.
I'm almost halfway to nano again.
Okay. I'm gonna jump top here.
Alan, can you back up? Thank you.
Mikli, go flank.
Yeah.
And maybe a sneaky.
Are you okay, Lise?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Zarya off the top here.
Yeah. Let's go high ground. Yeah. Look out, Winston. Look out.
Dropping
Winston discorded. Winston discorded. He's low.
One. Go on Zarya.
I'm gonna
help. Tracer.
Genji behind you. Genji one.
Oh no, Genji one.
He's dead.
Break discorded.
Jumping on
Zarya discorded. I'm caught. Zarya.
Okay.
Double, she double.
Tracy going on you. Tracy there, no recall. Tracy, go look at Tracer.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna take where Monkey's at.
I'm trying to.
It's been a bit, I think.
Okay, they're gonna jump here. Get ready.
I'm not with you.
Monkey, break one. Monkey now. There's Blade.
I'm not with you.
Genji.
Get you up.
Someone come in. Thank you. I have full spawn.
Okay, I have primal here. I'll take top.
What else did they use? What else?
Yeah,
They use rally and they use primal.
They use grab.
They use grab.
Hey, top left on space. There's a tracer.
Okay, I'll go
I
top.
hit her
left.
once. I don't know if she recalled though.
There's a Genji up here too.
Winston low, discorded. Main.
Genji half. I'm out.
I missed my nade.
Okay, all good.
Tracer on me. I don't know where she recalled top.
She's discorded on ship.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
We back up.
Are they down anyone?
What's gonna be next plan?
I'm gonna take Zarya and Genji up the top.
I'm close to my set.
Okay.
Zarya discorded.
Going Zarya.
Up Genji on spaceship.
Zarya
Zarya
discorded. Monkey discorded now. He's low on point.
Okay, going on Monkey. Bring one. She's
Break discorded.
Boom.
Break discorded.
There's Anna. Look at Anna.
No recall.
Tracer behind.
She's discorded.
You just did that with no ult.
He's purple.
Genji discorded.
Okay, going Genji. Genji there. Look at Monkey.
Monkey next.
Look at Zarya.
Zarya sleeping.
Look at Zarya.
Double.
Nice. Bring on right.
Alright.
On one.
Going on Brick.
Tracer's half. 2 blinks, she's 1, okay.
Right.
She's getting pocketed.
So,
I'm on fire.
I'm gonna take top here.
We have ults here. Try to set up for ults. Try to set up for ults.
Pushing cart. Where'd it go?
Okay.
Just kidding.
Winston discorded on top. Winston discorded on bridge.
Okay, on him.
Here, go up on that, go up.
Winston's down, he's one. I'm dropping on him.
I'm on my way, Peco.
Get break.
Break.
Monkey.
Winston next.
Look at Zarya.
Tracer on point.
Zarya one. Nice.
Did we use every ult there?
Set up.
Let's push a little bit. 3 point.
One of them pressed Q, and everyone else remembered they had one.
Get ready to help you, Zarya. Monkey on cart. Genji.
He's discording.
I'm resetting.
60
Thank
seconds.
you.
Oh, give me ult charge.
Help Alan.
I'm trying.
Okay, let's go hard.
Call out targets. What are you guys gonna do?
50.
I'm gonna take top here.
Can you kill Tracer? Can you kill Ana maybe?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
done.
Break Discord on point.
Behind, monkey behind.
Break one.
Okay.
You got grabbed behind.
Zarya one.
Group up.
Okay.
One last
30
push.
seconds remaining.
What else did the users? What else?
They used pulse, grab.
That's it, I think.
Call grab.
I think I
That's all
cut.
I saw.
They're
They're
gonna have primal.
Tracer top right.
I'm going
and also
top.
Winston.
Yeah, also Winston.
Tracer discorded. Tracer no recall. Tracer no recall.
Good job here. Winston drop it. Look at Winston.
Winston on me.
Winston. Anti. Look at Winston.
He's discorded now.
He's sleeping. Oh, we forgot a touch.
Yep. Okay.
Well.
Couple things here. So first, since it's fresh on the brain, that fight that we went in after we used pretty much all of our ults. I think the only thing we had was pulse bomb. We had 1 ult. They had 5 and 10% away from 6. So, what's the best plan that we can make when we're at that much of an ult disadvantage?
Dry fight.
Okay. So, does everyone know what a dry fight is?
No.
We go in
Okay.
using ults.
Yeah, the goal is just to get as many ults from them as possible. Okay. So the best way to make this happen is to pressure them as much as possible. If you're ever in a dry fight scenario where you are way outmatched in terms of what ults you have, don't sit back and let them come in. I want you to push into them. I want you to act like you have all the ults in the world and you're about to just steamroll them. Okay? Like literally just like run into them because they're going to be like, oh shoot, we have to ult to be able to win this. Like, right? And so you want to get them to commit as much as possible and over ult to win the fight. Any ult that you get out in that scenario is a big advantage. The only thing you're doing is building ults and getting ults from them. All right.
Right.
So, go in, get as much as you can. I think we got like 2 ults in the second fight. We didn't really track what they were doing and think about how they could be setting up to do it. And then they got their next ult combo out, and then the third fight was the one where we didn't touch, and then in terms of Gibraltar strategy, I think in general the best I could go through and try to give you guys tips for like setup. I think the biggest thing that's going to improve for Gibraltar is everyone sitting down and talking about it as a team, because there's a lot of fights.
As a heads up, we do actively sort of avoid maps where Ryan Zarya aren't as strong.
Okay.
So our double bubble and like any sort of dive competition performance is probably a little more disjointed than even our Ryan Zarya type play. But we do avoid these maps on purpose. But I think it's good to play these maps and to have you guys talk about like why.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so if you ever find yourself in a position where you're playing a map that you haven't done a ton of research on, It actually happens a lot in Overwatch League too. Well, it used to. Not really with the way maps work now, but try to just think of it as similarly as you can to other maps. So even though you're playing Winston, pretend like you're Ryan in terms of where the fight's going to happen and like what are the key points, because you still play these maps in comp, so you still have like an idea of what where the fights are going to happen on the map, and so just try to translate as much as you can of other maps into that scenario. So what the basics that you can translate are: where's the fight going to happen, what ults are we going to use, like when you're considering an ult play, you're considering high ground, you're considering map geometry, that kind of stuff. So when you set up in second, when you have the entire space of second point on Gibraltar attack, I want you to think about what chokes are the best ones that you can fight at. So when we have all that space, when we did that forward grav, that's a great plan, because it's a choke is like, just such a great tool to use when trying to plan a fight out. So I think you guys would have had it. It was close, but the pulse bomb did get deflected. One thing you can do, I think it was Michi, you're playing Tracer, right? What you can do is in gravs, you can pulse the ground, try to pulse the ground instead of just trying to stick it to somebody, because it's not just the deflect. There's also, if you're against a Sigma or a Diva, they're probably just gonna matrix straight in front of them. So if you can get in and pulse the ground, you're still gonna get like the damage, right? That's kind of just a safer way. And then I think the biggest thing about Gibraltar is, with the subs and the comm dynamic change, we still have to be very, very proactive about our ults and our mid-fight comms. There's the difference here is there's a ton of dead space where comms weren't happening. So even if you don't know what to say, ask what's next. That let that be a key word for you. So as soon as the fight's over, what's next? What's next? And force your teammates to talk to you. Okay. So one of the things I did when I was working with teams and contenders is this happened a lot, where we had teams that either didn't have a shot caller or didn't have like whatever the situation is, the comms weren't like super upbeat and they're not used to it. Set that keyword for yourself. So the minute a fight is ending, what's next? What's next? Ask everybody what's next. And that should trigger everybody else who has a job in communication to do their job, right? So whoever is the best fit for that, make it to where the only thing they say is what's next, and then that means your ult tracker, or you're like, we're to be talking about ults, what ults they used, what ults we're going to use, what's the next fight, and that triggers the whole sequence of events, okay? Because during in between fights, dead space is no bueno. All right, we don't want that at all. We want to be talking and planning and getting ready for it, okay? But overall, like I think with a little more time on double bubble, like we have a lot of the basics already. With I think that the on switch felt a lot better. And there was a question there about who do we nano in situations where we already have primal. I'm not a fan of primaling a monkey that already has, nanoing a monkey that already has primal. I like to let monkeys do their own thing in fights where they have primal. So let Crusader deal with it, and if he feeds, he feeds. And you can primal, or you have two options with your nano. If they have an aggressive play that they can make, and we know this if we talk about their ults, we think about what they're going to do, right? If they're going to do an aggressive play and we can nano defensively, you absolutely can. Okay, nano the target that gets dove, nano the target that is getting bladed, whatever. Alternatively, we can nano one of the other DPS aggressive. So nano McCree, nano Tracer aren't terrible choices. It's not like no one's going to flame you for nanoing a DPS player when your monkey has primal, right? That's still a good choice. There's still a lot of value there. So if that happens, don't be afraid to do that. But in your sequence of events, it's monkey, unless he has primal, and then it's are we using it defensively? If not, nano DPS.
My thought process was to nano him so he get damage in, and then after nano runs out, he primals.
Yeah, so that's okay, but generally the nano on Monkey is to get more damage to be able to build his ult faster so that he can primal. So it's not the worst, but I would recommend like it's the thing I always say is to use ults to build ults.
So like at 80?
Yeah, if he was at like 80, then that's totally fine, right? But if he already has primal, then you know, I just wouldn't use it. But just try to think of that as like a basis of we use ults to build ults, because ults are going to be what wins fights in every single fight you do. It's what ults are using, unless you know. Yeah. Yep. All right. So let's what map do you want to do next? Did you want to do Ilios or did you want to try something else? Do you have a preference?
We haven't done a 2 CP, have we?
We have not in this block.
Can we run 2 CP of your choice, I guess?
Yeah, let's go
Sombra.
Okay, can we put AK on Sombra?
Okay. So playing against a Sombra, one of the key things I want to see is before every fight, in between every fight, when the fight's not actually broken out, if you can spam
everything
to try to break
stealth,
all
the things.
So
spy check, spy check.
Not often.
And then whenever we think they have EMP, we have to plan a defensive ult. Okay, just like we plan for Graph, we plan a defensive ult for EMP. And ideally, you use trance for EMP, but you have to hide and dodge it. So when we set a fight and we expect them to fight in a certain position, it's going to be on our Zen player to figure out what's the best place to hide against it. Okay, it's good to talk about it on maps. Like if you have the time to go through maps and figure out, you know, where the best EMP spots are, but just do your best to hide without being like so far away from your team that they die before your trance gets there.
Got it.
Wants 2 more minutes on timer.
All right, are we?
Alan wants 2 more minutes on timer. No, but yeah, because like when we've played with him as Sombra, he would go in and hack Isamari or Zen, and then he would EMP. So it's like, oh.
So, that's where the Sombra marking, where everyone is planning to shoot them, like is shooting in spots where you think they're going to run, because Sombra has to path somewhere, right? Just because she's invisible doesn't mean, you know, she can be anywhere. There's always a path that she has to take to get like to position to hack our Zen. So position yourself to where she either has to
scratch what I was talking
physically
about,
bump
because
into
they're
someone
playing
to get through,
Sombra.
like
I'm
a
going to
choke,
stick and listen
or
to their comms.
she has to run into fire and make it really, really hard for her to be able to hack. And any instance of damage stops that hack from happening. So what a lot of teams do, if they're really struggling at Sombra, because Sombra is such a unique hero, is it's not uncommon to play like a Rhine comp with a Moira, because Moira can literally just hold right click when the team like in between heals, you hold right click, and the minute Sombra starts to hack, it goes on cooldown because of the right click.
Like Moira, you say?
That's like Moira. I will only suggest Moira if you're struggling against Sombra. Not something that like you play on around, because she's not very good in this meta. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I know. They told me to stop playing it.
I have a question. Does Ryan have to swing on Sombra when somebody becomes visible?
No. I mean, if Sombra's right next to you, then yeah. But
okay,
don't.
So would we want Crusader to keep shield up, and we have our DPS focus on Sombra more than our main tank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So it's going to be based on everyone else if you're playing Rhine. Like still, your priority is still shielding, but Zarya left clicking. Like you can right click chokes from far away, but if you can left click it too, it's not bad. Uses less ammo. And yeah, Zen, Bap, be shooting as much as you can in the meantime. Okay. All right, are we good, Jayne?
Yep. We're we
assume
are
by
good.
the fact they're memeing that we're ready.
Ooh, they are ready.
All right, team, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Remember, energy, plans. I want no dead time. Minute a fight's ending. What's next?
We got this.
Oh, in this corner here.
Michi, I want you to call where you're gonna wall.
Okay.
Before the fight happens every time.
Rip, son.
100% accuracy.
Oh,
If we
Alan,
want to kite,
Alan's
we wanna-
okay.
Victor.
He
If
asked
we want
for
to
2
kite,
minutes.
I'll pause it. All right. So with Ryan, we're starting up with the choke. Be ready to wall at the choke. Call that when you're walling. Make sure we're by checking the left choke, and then someone keep an eye out for if they're going to translocate through the top right. Okay. You'll see the animation. Yes. All right. Let's do it.
Alright, let's go. We go fire strike door.
Alright, besties.
Spooky.
left side.
Left
Yep.
side.
Left side.
Water.
Rein Discord.
Range 1.
Reaper dead. Look at Ryan. Look at Ryan.
Rein Discord.
Ryan discarded.
He can't. Oh.
Sorry, you're frozen.
Look at
Frozen.
Zarya.
She's discarded too.
Lucio.
Lucio discarded.
Moira.
Moira on point. Moira's gonna get out.
Okay, nice.
That was close.
Where's
Our Rein is
Yeah, I'll
coming
be
back.
back soon, so hold the same corner.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Soon you're muted. I don't know. You were fighting the Sombra, and I assume that you were calling her. But if you,
He's doing
if-
push to talk.
oh, okay. Well, make sure you call out if you see that, because you obviously saw her, and so you need to make sure that everyone knows that. And I couldn't hear it, so I don't know if it happened. Secondly, that wall. Make sure you're walling the choke, Michi. Don't wall out in the open.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Okay.
Alright, let's go.
Stepped away for Ryan.
Just play around corner. I'll be back soon.
Sombra's invis.
Somewhere. We don't know where she is.
He's looking for Vayne. She's probably gonna try and back up.
Doubt it. She's probably gonna go first.
They're pushing. Oh,
Go help your mate. Help your mate. Ryan one. Nice. Look at
Zarya discarded.
Nice. Look at Mara right by herself. She faded.
Someone's on point.
Light,
Someone's on
Sombra.
point. Someone's on point.
Nice. I think the Mara's the best.
Lucio
Did you guys get
discarded.
her?
She might.
Did you guys get the Mara those here?
What's next?
I have window.
Okay. I have shatter. I'm
Get the
gonna
fire
charge.
strike.
Ult card.
Okay.
I mean, call.
Well, window right now.
Okay, I have shatter.
They most likely have shatter.
Rein discarded.
Oh, she's in.
Rein discarded.
Sombra went in, but she didn't.
Moira's top right.
Sombra,
Moira's top right.
Big shatter. Terminal hack. Shield's broken. I'm backing up here.
I'm gonna grab this.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
Window the grab.
When the fire strike, I'm
wait
throw.
a little bit.
When the fire strike, I'm
Rein
throw.
discarded. Rein discarded.
Okay. Nice.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I was having trouble.
Hanzo beat.
Okay, he wasted beat.
Push up. We can get staggers here.
Alan.
I don't know where
Stick
Reaper
three is
went.
in
I
the
think
way.
he went top.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your stick
We
three
hold the
is
same
in
corner. What do we have? We have May and Kree. We can use May when they push up because
What
they
else
don't
do they
have
have?
beat.
What else do they have?
They have grab. They have shatter.
They
They're probably close to
Don't
EMP.
have EMP.
They're close to EMP, so spread far apart. Not too far. Just spread apart.
Marvin's in. Oh, there goes it. There it
There's
is.
EMP.
Oh, it's off cancelled.
Okay.
Reaper behind.
Go Reaper. There's a Ryan behind us.
Rein discarded.
Ryan discarded. I'm hacked.
Zarya discarded next. Zarya.
I'm so sorry. I didn't.
Oh, good.
Still winnable.
Still winnable. Fight for it.
Okay, we're getting close.
Okay. We take top. Very left. They used Reaper. They used EMP. They used Shatter. They used Grab as well, I think. Am I wrong on there?
I don't remember seeing a grab.
Okay.
Reaper's going left side. It's going left side.
Last time
Take top here though. Take top.
Moira ult.
They're top left.
I'm close to my grab.
And
Okay, I have Shatter here.
they used Lucio beat a while ago. Something's on point.
Sombra point. She's discarded.
All good. Back up here. I'm gonna drop the point.
Jeez.
All good.
Jeez. Oh no.
Here, we give him a tick. We can retouch here. Let's go left. Let's go left side. Nice. I'm gonna shatter here.
Ryan discarded. Ryan discarded.
Ryan.
Zarya next.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, hacks.
Lucio behind us. Lucio
behind.
Lucio behind. Discorded.
Discorded. Yeah. He's one. Nice. Step up top again.
I'm 80 to Blizzard.
Did he use any ults there?
Help me, left side.
Zarya, help Zarya.
There's a translocator. She broke it.
I'm gonna set up top meanwhile. Nice. She has close to EMP. We have 3 ults we can grab here.
They're going top left again.
Okay.
I
At least,
can
watch out. They might push you there.
Okay.
I can grab, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
You want me to window the grab? Yeah.
No window. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, met
I can try check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out, at least be ready to get out. They're going your way. They're going your way.
Yeah, let them come in.
Yeah. They're going your way.
Help me, Chi.
Help.
Oh, I'm hacked. We did not see that.
I'm out of there.
Did not see that though.
Nice. Okay, it was fine.
Nice.
As long as you can. I have Cheddar here.
Come on.
Windows in corner. They found me. Hold it.
Go.
Get the Ryan.
Big Cheddar. Look at the Ryan.
Okay.
Nice.
Lucio. Okay.
Sombra. They use EMP there. They use what else did they use? What else did they use?
I think they have Reaper ult. I think.
Did they use? They have Reaper ult?
I think so.
Okay. No, they used the last night.
Reaper ult. Okay.
Okay, they have Reaper ult. They have Moira. What else? Do you guys remember? Luis, come back over here. You're gonna get pushed like last time.
We're gonna play a dry fight here, so if we
don't use ult here.
If we build ult, don't use it.
Yeah. It's up again.
Look out. Can Bibble you?
Watch for shatter.
Ryan discarded.
Yeah, nice.
Right.
Reaper discarded. Moira on point.
Dropping.
Someone behind us.
I'll circle around.
Yeah, she trends out.
Okay.
She's probably.
We're gonna have High Noon next fight. We're gonna have Shadow next fight. And we're probably gonna have Bapple next
I heard
fight.
her. She placed it.
They have the
Are you
EMP.
okay?
Watch out
Alan?
for EMP.
I hear her. She's over here.
She's behind. She discarded.
She's bottom. She's bottom left.
She's bottom left. Mega.
Bottom left. Mega. They're going top again.
You're down one tank. Or
I can wall.
Okay. Tell me what.
Go.
He's discarded.
Not there.
Get the... Zarya. Look at Reaper on right. Backing up. Oh no.
Zarya low. Summer point.
Lucio.
That was my bad.
She's discarded. She's still mini.
Alright, set up top again.
Boot.
Ryan's coming.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
He held on to that for
Good job. All right, so against a Sombra, if they're playing Sombra on attack, we have to always talk about who is going to be the one to touch point if she touches point.
Okay.
What they did that one time where Sombra was on point while we were trying to fight top and they got ticks, that's how they win, and they didn't abuse that. We got lucky that they didn't abuse that. Because someone is going to have to drop and deal with her, and generally that's going to have to be one of the DPS. And then the way Michi you did that very last wall right there, where you communicated it and you walled off the tank, like that was like beautiful. I want to see that every time. All right, that was absolutely perfect. Now, if you want to do the split, like where you're split from the team on the right, getting a cheeky wall, that's fine. But you have to. If something happens to where you're gonna get pushed or whatever, then you have to just back off and immediately play safe. Drop and be ready to reset with the team. Okay. Don't if you get in a point where you get stuck and have to ice block, then your team has to commit to push and save you, or you have to put your wall up and pray and hope you can get out. All right. And then when they have a Sombra Crusader, if she goes for the hack on you, the only thing you can do is turn your shield to her and hope you do it fast enough. All right. And that's literally like, it's tough, but you just have to try to react and just, swing your shield as fast as you can towards the Sombra. All right.
Madly flail.
Otherwise, the way we handled the EMP on first actually was was pretty decent, but we just can't be. The issue wasn't the EMP. The issue was that we didn't hold the choke. If we ever have Mei and Ryan in the same comp, chokes are our best friend.
Okay.
And so we never, even if Sombra is in and terrorizing the backline, Crusader, I don't want you leaving that choke.
Okay.
Tell them, you guys deal with it. I'm holding the space, because if they get through that choke when we have a Mei Ryan, then the whole point of this comp just like goes down the drain. Okay.
Okay.
And then there was a time when their Moira was inside through the choke away from their team. If we ever kill Moira in a fight when it's a Ryan comp versus Ryan comp, I want you guys to turn off your brain and go in. Just push them. Okay. They have no heals. So you go in and you clean up the rest of that fight. Okay. You build your ults off.
Okay.
All right. Let's check. Let's focus on attack here.
I want to play Moira.
All right. So if they have a Mei, if we scout that they have a Mei, how do we want to handle the choke situation?
We bait out wall, then press W on.
That's what I like to hear. All right. Now, because we're not running Lucio, we bait out that wall and break it. Okay. We don't have the option of just speeding past and so we have to bait it. When you're playing BAP, I want you to pre-charge your jump. So if the wall happens, you are already in the air, ready to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So once you bait wall, what's the plan? Where are you going in from there?
Press W.
Press W. Are you going to run at them?
Yes.
That's what I like to hear. Let's do it, team.
If you guys think
Onwards.
Sombra's scuffed on defense on Hanamura, we can swap that too.
Yeah, I'll let them swap it on a second.
5, 4.
All right, let's go. Oh, right now.
They left nothing for us. They broke everything.
One thing as well. If you're ever in Ryan Comp versus Ryan Comp and one team has Sombra, they naturally have to play a little slower for Sombra to set up, which means we can play a little faster. If you guys see opportunities to play fast, don't be afraid to take it, okay?
Okay.
Hit.
Yeah, ready?
On door and hit ready up.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh. I was breaking machines.
Watch out for Fire Striker. You did it up. Right. Sombra on right.
Yep, I was gonna say watch for Sombra. Okay, my aim sucks.
Sombra still top right? Or did she out?
She might be top
Watch
behind.
out.
Oh, break wall.
Oh, thank you.
Somewhere behind. Somewhere behind.
Branded.
Sombra's still behind.
She's low. She's out. She's out.
We
They have no wall. They have no wall.
Look on Zarya.
Zarya Discord.
W.
Baby, you're down, baby.
Oh, you're purple.
On the right side, on the right side.
Zarya one. Look around. Look, now get on. Sombra's gonna have to come to point or regroup.
Somewhere on your McCree. Somewhere on your McCree.
W.
Sombra right, going point. Nice. Let's go. Take top. I'm a Fire Striker.
I'm a
oh, yeah,
Hunger.
sure. Save one for a bit after choke, I think.
Window. And McCree is close to the ult. Maybe stay high ground.
Okay. Yeah.
Mei left side.
We beat it up.
Following your setup.
There it is.
We're on 8.
Oh, Sombra.
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry.
She's low. Nice.
Baby view.
Rein Discord.
Kill him.
Look at him.
You guys are all purple.
Baby 4.
You're all purple, man.
Winnable.
I don't know about that. Oh, you're all down.
Brick wall.
Big on our left. Shoo.
Okay, group up.
Cracks me up every time.
I think my humor was a little.
Chat, can I get a sheesh?
Ref? You have ref?
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, let's group up. We can grab Price Strike.
Oh my
window.
god.
What else do they have? What else do they have?
They probably have the Shatter. They have EMP.
Winter.
They have Grav. They probably have Mail as well.
We're gonna do this fast. We're gonna do this fast. I'm gonna grab fast.
They're gonna. I'm pretty sure they have everything.
Okay.
Just wait for the May wall. Wait more, and then we go.
Watch for left. Okay, but Sombra's probably here.
There
she is. There she is. There she is.
Recover.
Nice.
Look around. Look around.
Hop your Kree. Hop your Kree.
Oh, am I out of here? Okay. They use EMP. They may use Mail.
And they also use Nano.
They use Nano. Did they use
They
Grav?
use Grav. Well, that's what you guys were stuck in.
Okay.
Not wrong.
How are we gonna use our ults for next fight?
We can open up with Mail. You can just throw it in to make a move.
Yeah, we're gonna push with Mayo, I think.
Yeah.
We can try going choke.
They use Tran.
I mean, mid.
They probably have high noon though.
Their auto is getting poke damage. Help your Zen Cross.
They switch? Okay.
I'm asleep.
Okay. May's there. Yeah, she's on left. There she is.
Break wall.
Mid.
Look around.
Look out, Ryan. Shoot up, Ryan.
DPS left side.
DPS
left side.
He's main.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Look at Zarya. Zarya dead. This is them there.
Nice, man. Nice.
I don't have it.
Ranty.
Right side. Anna.
Right there, Anna.
I don't have any more York purple, please.
Let's go point.
Go on point.
May.
Ryan frozen.
He's discarded.
Nice. Look at me.
Sorry,
Zarya
discarded.
left. On right. Someone's coming on right. Anna.
Right side, Anna.
Quick. Nice.
Let's
got
go.
it.
Good job.
Yes, good job. When you guys get opportunities, if you kill their Ryan, and they don't have wall, don't be afraid to push through that choke. Especially if you do still have immortality field, that's even better. But don't be afraid to push through. I know it's very tricky on that top side with the small corridors and everything. But don't be afraid when you get those advantages, push. Now, I know I've already talked a ton. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but listen to this in the vibe later to remember, okay? But think of Overwatch in this kind of setting. Think of it as turn-based, okay? To where someone has to take their turn to get something out of them. All right. So when we push forward into a choke, that's our turn. They're going to counteract with wall or whatever, right? That's what they're doing on their turn. They've used those cooldowns, and now we have cooldowns to push for our next turn. So when it's opportunity for us to do something on our turn, whether or not their turn was effective, we need to make sure we take that opportunity to do it, okay? And so that's something that's a little more advanced, and I want you to think of that in terms of like when you're doing ult plays and if you VOD review a fight and you look at all the different stages of a fight from beginning to end, not just the beginning, think about it like, now that they've used these cooldowns, our next turn is taking the next position, using our next ult, whatever it is, okay? And that'll help you guys with mid-fight stuff in the long run. In thinking about how do we grow and get better as a team mid-fight after everything's broken down and the initial plan is gone, or it's already done. When you think about it as a turn-based thing, it becomes a little bit easier to think about next steps. Okay, but overall, I think these Rentile comps, you guys have a really good baseline, especially with the May. I think you guys are doing really well, and you're getting a lot better when you're asking about what's next and planning it out. Like it's not perfect, but it's getting better. Especially comparing the difference between Gibraltar and Hanamura. There's a big difference. You guys did a very good job here with planning it out. Okay.
Go on. I can wait.
But yeah, is this? I think
that was it. Yeah, that was 4 maps.
Yep.
Is it? Yeah. So yeah, overall, I know that we had a couple different team setups where with people, but the basis I think goes across both of finalizing, just trying to make sure we stick to a structure with comms that's consistent. Consistency is absolutely key here, for you guys going forward, because you guys have so many good pieces, and I think you guys are playing way above what your SR says, and I think that with a little more time and just like focusing on a lot of this, planning the team fights, planning where it's going to happen, and then thinking about the turn-based thing with breaking down team fights when you, if you review any of your guys' gameplay, that I think is going to go a long way for you guys. And this was fun. I hope you guys got a lot, and I hope I didn't overwhelm you guys.
No, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. For chat out there, this Peco thing is great, and it's worth every penny. So, yeah, thank you guys a lot, and I like what you guys are doing with the Peco, just with this organization and helping people get better. Yeah, like I said, worth every penny. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that, Slanked, and thanks to everyone for coming on. Yeah, in terms of, I'm gonna try not to overwhelm too much. I think that I'll probably. I was taking some notes on some of the more micro things, which I'll send over in notes a little bit later, so that you'll have those for some more individual improvements outside of the actual macro improvements. But just one of the things that I'd like to add on to is that we're working on all of these plays in terms of, whether it's going to be countering the Grav Dragon or countering the Nanoblade or countering the EMP or these sorts of things. Where I think that when we're starting off, especially when Aero is introducing these things to everyone, it's you're improving really quite fast at this specific task, but there is there's a couple times where everyone's kind of too focused on that task, or the play kind of goes to hell just because you're very focused on making that plan work. So whether it's going to be the Baptiste's immortality field, or the Zenyatta's transcendence, or really anything. I'm just using those two because probably the support positions where these plays are sort of things where obviously it's a best case scenario, but in order to kind of no sort of plan is going to survive first contact with the enemy, where I think that once you get these plays really down, the next step is going to be changing plan or adapting. It's like if something goes wrong or like somebody loses, where you can still keep going once things have gone off script. So you're doing great, you're really learning the script, but you don't want to kind of get to the point where you're following a script so tightly that if anything goes wrong at all, you kind of fall apart or just like back up and die because what you were intending to do didn't end up. So I think that was probably just the theme about most people, I would say, on the team. We're starting to ignore their individual plays or adaptations or opportunities at the expense, or sorry, in order to try and fulfill that play, and that's pretty normal for teams that are learning new plays overall. But just the main thing that I would point out is that you never want to kind of do these plays, do these combos, do these counters to the extent where if anything goes off script, you I love the little choreographed dance. But yeah, just once you've learned the plays, remember to bring back a little bit more of that adaptability and flexibility. But yeah, that's the main thing that I wanted to add in, and I'll send my micro notes over to your coaches so that you can pass along in future scrim sessions coming up this week. And best of luck in your tournament. I hope that you beat that dirty GM Smurf in the tournament, and of course make it to those finals. Well, I'll open my loot boxes with you. So
yeah, thank you guys again. Really appreciate your time and all that. And,
yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Might be back for some of that individual coaching. I'll send you guys me feeding on Zarya, and you can tell me I'm trash.
Perfect.
All right, thank you guys. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much. All right. Let's drag Aero into here. Well, how'd you think that session went?
Overall, I think it went well.
Yep.
I mean, they improved a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to like hammer in so much that they improved. I didn't want them to feel like they were like, just awful in the beginning, because they weren't.
No.
But they did improve a lot. It was interesting. I mean, I don't think I've ever coached a team that's that low SR before.
Is this
So,
the
like,
lowest SR team you've coached?
I think so. So it was. There was a lot of fundamental things that I had to try to figure out what was most important to cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And so yeah, overall, I think it went really well.
I think that's actually one of the things that Tickety's been struggling with as well, like, especially when we started getting to like some bronze and silver people coming on for the individual coaching. Wow, did everybody just left in the game? All right. But yeah, so I think that's kind of, I started like the very first time that I got into coaching, I started all the way down in like Scrub Cup with literally coaching a team of bronze players and pretty much worked my way up the entire way. Whereas, you and Tickety, even from beta, were playing in semi-pro teams and things like that and just have always played at that highest level. So it is kind of interesting where, I was, even the same thing though, I think that coming back to the game, it's one of those things where you kind of forget what happens in silver, bronze, gold in the area. And I think that for some extent, like when I was trying to do the drills yesterday, where I was trying to teach how to break a double shield fortification on point, like with specifically Li Xiong. And one of the things that I was really struggling with is that, with how critical Winston is to play in that composition, these were people who were like almost diamond, but were doing things that I had considered just kind of to be obvious, or just like there's no other way to do this. Where like one of the things would be when trying to get cleave on an enemy, right? I told them to go in, get some poke, and then after the Zarya's bubble expires, drop your personal bubble, right? But they were dropping their bubble with the enemy team entirely inside of it, so it was doing nothing. Like the team was right there, and then they just kept getting shot in the face. And this is kind of like, having to specify little things like you're dropping your bubble and then walking forward in order to make sure that the bubble is actually blocking some of the damage and cooldowns. Something like you always kind of forget just like how basic or how fundamental you need to go when you're dealing with really low SR teams, which can certainly be a challenge. But yeah.